Hello, I'm Dinda, and I take part as a dubber and as an editor.
Hello, I'm Lilo and I take part as a dubber and a translator.
Hello, I'm Rayhan and I take part as the dubber and the editor.
Hi, I'm Tasha and I take a part to dubbing as the voice of Mata Christina and the fine Pancasila.
I am Micky and I take a part to dubbing the voice of Captain Padmura.
Hello, I'm Anisa and I take part to define Pancasila values in the story.
Hi, I'm Syahira and I take part to define Pancasila values in the story.
Ray, don't you have a history test tomorrow? Have you studied?
Yes, I have. But there seems to be some material that I don't understand. Can you explain it to me?
Let's discuss it together. What is it about?
Maluku's resistance against the Dutch. Did you know the history?
Oh, I see. It looks like we've already discussed this before. Do you remember about Patimura?
Yes, his face is printed on the 1000 rupiahs paper money.
Exactly. Actually, Maluku's war has existed since 1570, when the Portuguese were still in power. They are being greedy by monopolizing the spices in Ternate. It made the relations with the king of Ternate heated up.
Wow, is it true? It's been a long time.
Yeah, that's how it is. The never-ending conflict made the Portuguese kill Sultan Khairan of Ternate in 1570. His son, Sultan Ba'abullah, didn't accept it and was determined to destroy the Portuguese.
His son must have been really mad. Then, did the fight work?
The fight was succeed. The war raged for 5 years. Then, Portuguese was really desperate. The Sultan commanded the war in the whole Maluku's region. On the other hand, the Portuguese were also being threatened in Malacca because there's an attack came from Aceh.
And finally, the Portuguese left Maluku after an ultimatum in July 1575.
Wow, thank God. But after the absence of Portuguese, the trade hegemony in Maluku was then replaced by the VOC, right?
Unfortunately, the Dutch entered Maluku around 1605, but the Portuguese were also returned after the death of Sultan Ba'abullah.
What? Oh my God. It must have been the Portuguese violent behavior. What's next?
In order to keep their authorities to not being snatched again, people of Maluku asked help from the Dutch, until finally the Portuguese were repulsed.
It's predictable. There must be a return for it, right? It is impossible for the Dutch to help in vain. Is it the beginning of another conflict?
Right? The price to be paid is the trade monopoly contract agreed in 1607.
We all knew that Dutch rules were much more burdensome, not only for their trading power but also for their territorial power. The VOC monopoly, extirpation rights, and home decrees made the people suffer even more until they started to fight back.
What did Kapitan Patimura do? And how long did the attack took?
Not yet. The war led by Kapitan Patimura is still very far away. Previously, the resistance of the people of Maluku was carried out separately in small groups because of their weakened power of the kingdom. The war began in 1635 under the leadership Kapitan Kakiali of Hitu. However, he died and was continued by Kapitan Tulakabesi until the war was finally extinguished in 1646.
What's the meaning of extinguished resistance? Does that mean it's all over?
It didn't end completely. It's just there was no resistance heard against the VOC until the end of the 18th century.
Ooh. And then Kapitan Patimura finally made his appearance?
Yep, in 1817, a new character appeared on Saparua Island. He is Thomas Matulesi, also known as Patimura.
Did you know that the name Patimura was a disguised name? He was a former sergeant major in the British military. When the Dutch took over, he lost his position and South Maluku's people suffered more and more. With several other former members of militia, he planned resistance against the Dutch.
People nowadays would say that he is handsome, heroic, and brave. Ha ha ha.
That's for sure. Kapitan Patimura is very cool. What else has he managed to achieve with his group?
First invasion was on May 15, 1817. carried out a sudden aggression to Fort Dustet, which killed resident Vandenberg and his family.
The next battle was at Zealandia Fort on Haruku Island. Patimura planned to control the Dutch fort so that the colony doesn't have a place to hide.
Well, as I recall, the last fort was Fort Amsterdam, but this time it didn't get conquered. The defeat of Kapitan Patimura's troops occurred because of lack of modern weapons. Is that right?
Yes, you're right. Apart from the weapons, the Dutch also brought troops from other areas. In the end, Patimura's defenses were completely burnt down, and Maluku's people had to withdraw due to lack of weapons, energy, and food.
In order to save people from greater risk, Kapitan Patimura surrendered himself to the Dutch.
Old Patimura may be destroyed, but someday young Patimura will rise.
Patimura and his last followers were conquered at the Au Fort, until finally sentenced to death in December of 1817 in Fort New Victoria, Ambon.
Oh my god, how much determination and struggle they had. The commendable service of the heroes we really shouldn't forget. Lastly, was his death a sign of the end of Maluku's people resistance?
No, there's also a female character. She is Marta Christina Tiahahu from Nasalaut Island. She continued to fight for the people. She once said,
This land is where we were born. Don't let the invaders say that.
yeah, she's such Wonder Woman. But her struggle had to stop when she was exiled to Java and died. That was the end of Maluku's war against Dutch.
I have mixed feelings after hearing your stories, but thank you very much for helping me understand this history.
You're so welcome. I also got new knowledge. It's very exciting if we discuss history this way, right?
That's right, learning becomes more fun. What you need to remember is don't forget the history, because history is one of the most meaningful sources of knowledge.
Pancasila in the Maluku and Patimura's war against the Dutch.
Divinity. Kapitan Patimura is a person who is obedient to God Almighty. In Saparua Island, the people upholds divine values. Patimura himself is a Muslim. He lives among people who are Muslim and Christian. In the fight against the Dutch, they believe that God would help them. Therefore, often when there were intersecting and unreasonable Dutch orders, Patimura, who was often instigated by the Dutch, remained steadfast in his stance and remained trusted by the public because of his adherence to religion.
Humanity. As we know, when the life of the people of Maluku suffer more and more, Patimura witnessed it. He, along with other former members of the British militia, planned a resistance against the Dutch. They know their right as well as the honor of this country must be fought for. No one can destroy them. Every human being has the right to live, the right to give opinion, and the right to be treated in a civilized manner. So it feels right for Kapitan Patimura and other Maluku people to defend Maluku and help others.
Unity.
In the fight against the invaders, of course, we cannot go forward alone. The need for unity to build a strong group or army. There needs to be a sense of common ground so that we can help each other. Under the leadership of Kapitan Patimura and previous leaders, the people of Maluku were directed to unite and maximize resistance. Together, they advanced and controlled the Dutch fort so that the colony did not have a center of power. Even though in the end, the people of Maluku lost and retreated because of their shortcomings in various things, they managed to prove to us the importance of unity and never give up.
Democracy and deliberation. As a leader, Kapitan Patimura knows very well the condition of Maluku people. They are aware of their strengths and weaknesses, so that when they began to act against the Dutch, of course, they discussed first about the strategic way to expel the Dutch. What tactics they used to control the Dutch fort must have been planned in such a way by considering the conditions and risks that the Maluku people would accept. The consensus they reached was a mutual agreement that everyone should be able to implement without complaining. That's how the people's leaders give direction and the people fight with enthusiasm.
Social justice. Kapitan Patimura wants equal welfare and social justice for all the people of Maluku. He worked hard to help the people of Maluku who were colonized by the Dutch. He and his troops were not afraid to get rid of the Dutch. Leaders don't want to see their people suffer. Every Indonesian people have the right to get justice in life, especially in their own country. It was wrong for the Dutch to act arbitrarily, such as considering the natives as lowly and easily deceived. Everyone should get justice and prosperity.